we're going to talk about how to grow a coaching business this summer. And yeah, we've still got time to do it. So I'm super, super excited. One of the brand new things that I'm talking about is going to be something that is really going to help you. So welcome, welcome. So your time's important. I am not going to go into lots of extra fluff. I will, though, at the end, of course, answer all those questions. I am going to give you the complete process, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. What I like to do is really show you the full picture and let you see all of it. That's what's important to me, is let you see the whole picture, because I think that's what most people are missing. They're not giving you everything you need to know. And then when you start your business, you're wondering, like, why is this not working? It's because you don't really know what you need to do. Let me give you the start to finish process for not only building, but having and then maintaining a profitable coaching business. I talk about building a boutique style coaching business, which I will share more about in just a few minutes. This process has been working exclusively for coaches for the last 6 years, but I have been doing this same thing in various ways since 2000, and I've been helping people worldwide. This is not new, what I'm teaching you today. It's just a different perspective of thinking of things. So these are some of our beautiful clients right here who actually I just got out of coaching calls with, honestly. And today, what I'm going to teach you is for you, if you are just getting started, you may have some of the foundational pieces to your business already set up. A lot of times people have a website, they'll have already been on social media, and they're like, but none of it's working. Can you relate to that? Or you already might be selling your coaching, but you're like, what I'm doing is not sustainable. It doesn't make sense. I can't get there yet. Today is also going to be for you if you want to make a difference through coaching. If you feel like you are the best kept secret, you're like, nobody knows about what I do, nobody's reaching out to me. If you're ready to put yourself out there, or maybe you're not ready to put yourself out there, really what I talk about today will definitely help you. Also, if you want to enjoy your business. So you might be stressing over the technology. I like to keep tech really simple. You also might want your social media to be easier. And maybe you're also not wanting to work 7 days a week. I'm going to cover all of that with you. Tell me if you can relate to this. So many of the women I talk to, they are trying to figure it out. Some people have spent years. So if that's you, I just want to tell you, you're not alone. I talk to lots of women in that place. So when I figured out what to do and I realized how much simpler it is than what they're making online, I was like, I'm going to make sure that people know what it takes to do it. And I also want to be able to answer any questions, right? There's no reason for me not to tell you how to be successful, because there's plenty of business for all of us. Here's what I really sincerely believe. When you really understand, like when you've been able to ask questions and ask the same question over and over again, now, wait a minute, do I understand this? Once you finally get it, that's actually how you'll get your business grown. I think we all are full of questions, and what's taught online leaves so many loops of unanswered things that you can't take any action. So I want to make sure that I answer those. That's why I give you the full picture. The framework is the full picture. It's unlike anything I've ever seen anyone present. Today, I'm going to show you not just one part of what it takes, not just the strategy, but everything to build and grow this complete business that I'm doing that's brand new, this 30 days to your first client. And I'm always honest. This is something else you should know. I tell you exactly what's involved in business. I tell you the truth about what it takes to get clients. I tell you the things that are going to be hard. Building a business isn't easy, but the thing is, once you get it built, oh my word, it's so amazing. You have different problems. The problems later become, I have more clients than I realized I could handle. Now what do I do? And that's going to be different for everybody. We just had a client that we were just on a call with who works full time, and she's got 2 clients and she's overwhelmed. Yeah, if you've never worked with 2 clients and you work full time, that's like an answered prayer, but you're overwhelmed. So you got to figure out how to do that as well. I would rather tell you exactly what to expect than to have you be surprised. And I know you can do it. We have a bunch of clients here, and I'm telling you what, this right here is evidence. These are clients that we've worked with. I had forgotten this one about Lori, about that she did this webinar with 29 people that came. Out of the webinar she did, she sold 2 paid clients and 8 people into her, 2 VIP clients, I should say, and 8 people into her first group program. And she did that from November until January. That's how many clients she took in. And then it was like, oh my word, what do I even do to manage all this? All of that is possible with exactly what I'm teaching you. The number one goal is to get clients. That's what every one of you would say. If I said, tell me what your problem is, you'd be like, I need to get clients. Everything we do is focused on that. While it seems like I might be talking to you about getting your niche done and getting your branding done and getting your messaging done, it's all driving towards the same thing. You need to get more clients. Take action, coach. I tell you what to do and I show you what to do. And there is consistent action that needs to be taken week after week. And we all have off weeks, but to build a business, you have to be consistent. I'm Debbie Shadid. If you don't know me, thank you so much for being here. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a geeky. I am a lover of all things business. I've been in business 26 years. So I've been at this a long time. What I do works. I use it myself. I'm a teacher, a guide, a strategist, and a business partner. I have helped thousands of women. I've helped women worldwide. I focus mostly on people in the United States now, but I help people everywhere. I want to help you grow a profitable coaching business. I help women who struggle with tech, who don't love social media, and they just are saying, I don't know where to find my people. Through the work that we do, I've been online since 2002 in my own business since 2002. That was like the dark ages, honestly. That was like a website was a really complex thing to build, and it was 2 pages. I've been in business since 2000. And honestly, I've made millions, to over $10 million in the last few years doing what I'm doing right now. And I help women in groups just like this. This picture right here is current clients. So there's not 100 people in the room. I'm helping people individually on what they need to know through the Profitable Coach Framework and also the Design, Live, Thrive Summit, which I'll talk about briefly too. I created the Profitable Coach Framework based on my own business process, and it was born out of the strategies that I know work. I've already mentioned 26 years I've been in business. That means I survived 2008. Anybody been around 2008 housing crisis? 2020, COVID, and I could make a whole list. Every presidential election, all the things that have happened, my business has thrived. This is so possible for you. Again, this is what's worked for me. You're welcome to take a screenshot if you're interested in finding out what people have done when they work with us, but everybody takes action. The results that you do, they compound. This is one of my biggest things I always talk about. Look, you might not see it today, but that consistent action compounds. And then one day you're like, oh my gosh, I just got a client. It's through brand awareness, building a reputation, building yourself up as an authority. That is the pathway to getting clients. I like to say, when somebody comes to have a conversation with you, I want them to be sold on you before they get there. That's actually what makes it easier. And that's all done with the marketing that happens ahead of time. By the way, I do not recommend paid ads for anyone. So I only teach free marketing. This question I already know the answer to. How would it feel if you finally could bring in clients to your business? I know, really good. The coaches who are most profitable are not the ones with the most certifications or even the biggest transformations. Think about this. They are the best marketers. I'm sorry to say that, but that's true. They are the best marketers. They know how to talk about what they do. Think about, you've seen people online who are like, tell you the story about how much money they made, and they look like there's no way that they could have. And yet what they did was they communicated in a good way, in a way that people understood, to the right person. That's it, is the key to this thing. It's not all the certifications. Those are very useful, but those are not going to get you clients. In today's workshop, I'm going to walk through the essential components that are required, honestly, to build a business. I'm going to help you see what you're missing. You can actually write down where the gaps are. So what's new is my 30 days to our first client. I will share that as well. A brand new process where you will have a client. Pretty exciting. Let's talk about your business and what my concept is about building a boutique style coaching business. This right here, if you walk away with nothing, but this is going to change your whole business. If you think about your business as a boutique down the street, whatever it looks like, I don't care, but a building where you unlock the door and you have regular work hours and that you have bills to pay there, you have to tell people, hey, I have a dress shop down the street. If you start thinking about your coaching business as that, everything will change for you. Because if you have a business like that, it is obvious that you can't not make money. You have to make money. You'll figure it out. You have to tell people you exist. You have to work regular hours. That concept alone, boutique style business. That'll change everything for you if you start thinking of your business and treat it like it's a real business. These are the 4 essential components that I'm going to go into today. The first component is all about image. It's about you deciding on your niche. It's about you as the brand. And I'm not talking about the way you look. I'm talking about the perception of your brand, the presence of your brand. People have to know, why are they going to hire you to help you with their problem? There are a lot of coaches, and by no means is the market oversaturated. I'm going to bet that you don't have, outside of your coaching friends here in this space right now, I'm going to bet you have no personal friends that work with coaches. That means the opportunity is huge, but people have to know why would they hire you? That's the first component. The second one is all about, how do you become well known? You got to put yourself out there. You've got to start telling people what you do, how you help them, and you have to do it clearly. We talk a lot about caveman language. That's Donald Miller talks about that. Or third grade, like you got to talk in a way that a third grader could say, oh, I know what Debbie does, and she does this. Most of us are not talking that way because we're not even sure how to explain what we do. And a lot of that is because we're not clear on what we're going to do anyway, who we're going to help, what problem we're going to solve. All that uncertainty makes it impossible for us to discuss things clearly. The third component is all about marketing. There is no way to get a client unless you tell somebody what you do. That is marketing. It really is that simple. You could never post on social media. You could never send an email, and you could have a fully booked business if you told people in your local market, you walked around, you met people, and you told them what to do. You could absolutely do that. The first component is to be seen as a successful coach. If you have the niche, this is the number one thing. People are unsure, is their niche. Make sure that you feel aligned with that. So you want to have the niche, and you want to leave a good impression everywhere you go. And you want to be a professional. What does a professional look like today from day one? I'm not talking about being fancy. This is about how you show up confidently, how you talk confidently. It's about communicating clearly. Discover how to help people stop scrolling. Now, I just said that you could build your business without social media. If it's stopping a scroll, then what does that mean in person? It's discover how you can talk to people in person and get them to listen. It's true there. Yes, the visuals of your business will make that lasting impression, but so will every word that you say. This is the deal. How you look and what you say, key pieces. When we talk about making that scroll stopping impression where you are seen as successful, how does that work? You have a brand, you have your logo, you have the colors, and then your brand, your presence, you're the brand. So your presence has its unique style and energy. You want to think about what that is. You intentionally decide what that is. This is how you know how you're going to market yourself. So much of this is just some intentional, simple decisions. Once you have your brand established, which I'm going to show you what that is, then you can dive into the marketing message. And marketing messaging, while that sounds like a lot, Debbie, it's just the words that you say to a particular person. Yes, we help people write complete marketing messages, but it is just the way that you talk about it. The truth is, to avoid being a one-hit wonder, once you select that niche, you have to talk about what you're doing consistently. I cannot stress this enough. Once you are fully booked, you're never fully booked. Do you know why? Those people don't stay with you forever. There becomes this art of getting yourself booked. Like I mentioned to you, that works full time, and she has her first 2 paying clients, and she's quite honestly overwhelmed because there's a dance with learning to, how did I get the clients? How did I have the conversations? Now I'm working with them. Now, how do I figure out how to continue to market? She said, I'm not even on social media right now. How do I market and do all of that at the same time? There's this skill that has to be learned. Once you learn it, all of it's much easier, but each stage of this is like learning. Brand is the words that you say, and it's the way people see you. I talked about your boutique. Think about this as curb appeal. If you think about that house that went up for sale and the same day it had 4 offers on it, I can almost guarantee you the curb appeal, if it was during the summer, they had flowers in their flower pots out front. The grass was green. The shutters had been painted. The curb appeal to your business really does matter. When people are looking for you online, they need to see something not fancy, but something tidy and neat and organized, consistent look everywhere they go. Today, in this AI driven world, oh my gosh, I hope you can see all the AI stuff that's created. I am recommending to our clients how to use AI. So I'm not against it at all. But there is this piece of how do we show of who we are? And people are craving that more than anything right now. YouTube, and I'm sorting through the YouTube videos trying to figure out, I'm looking like, is this AI generated? I literally look in the, before I subscribe to somebody, is this AI generated or is it a person that's talking? I don't even know anymore. That's crazy. Us being on camera and showing ourselves, all of that is what you want to do to make sure you get that human connection so that you are relatable. One of the great things about figuring out your unique voice is that you learn the things that you say that are going to be different than everyone else. I say, look, marketing is the ATM to your business. I'm sure in a minute I'm going to say marketing is a money-making machine. And you thought that just being in saying you had an online business would be the money-making machine. It's not. It's actually the marketing. I say some things over and over. That will be the thing that will make you different than what AI is creating for anyone. Again, we know that we need to separate ourselves, and I know coaching is needed more than ever. I have an intimate relationship with Claude, my AI guy, my boyfriend. And look, I talk to Claude a lot, and I need to have human connection. I'm no different than anyone else, probably more than ever. AI is just one more level in isolation after COVID. So we need to put ourselves out there. A beautiful, authentic brand will help people relate to you. It's not about flowers in your office or anything. It's about a brand that reflects you. One where you don't have to get ready to be your brand. You are the brand. This is how I look every day. So this is just me. You get a brand that reflects you, and you're going to use that brand everywhere. Your brand and your message will be the connecting points. They really are the cornerstone of your whole business. Everything else is going to be built on that. And think about it. If you're in business for a lifetime, which is what I teach people, we're building a business one time. We're learning how to do it one time. This will be the business that you have from now till forever. Think about that. You want everything to be built on one on the other. You don't want to be redoing it. It's not like buying new furniture. This is a lasting investment in time that sets you up for a lasting business that produces income and freedom. So your brand is going to be used everywhere. This is what creates trust. I firmly believe that in 2026, we are in a trust gap right now. Again, this has to do, I hate to keep hating on AI since I love AI, but it is. We have a trust gap. Google did a study and they said somebody needs to spend 7 hours with you. This study was done this year, 7 hours to get to know you before they trust you, 11 different touch points in 4 different locations. If you are somebody working in your local market, what does that mean? They have to somehow have connected with you to earn up enough time to equal 7 hours. That's what Google is saying. Is that going to work? And if you think about the coaches that you're hiring, chances are you've binged. You don't have to do that, but you got to provide a way for people to get to know you. What would that look like for you? For everybody, that's going to be different. This is an example of a brand. We actually teach this. I designed this. I teach everybody how to design a brand. This was done in Canva. I explain all about colors and logos and fonts and how to put it all together. But this is the foundation of my business. Everything is created off of that. I've changed nothing. You can see the slides. This is from 2020. It's just all exactly the same the last 6 years. The second component is about becoming a well-known coach. How do you have a first-class reputation? Did you ever think about intentionally deciding that you wanted to? How do you design your reputation? You do it in advance. You decide before you ever start getting into things what it is you want to be known for. What do you want people to say about you? I intentionally sat down, our clients sit down, they decide, what is somebody going to say behind my back about me? I want people to say about you. I'd love for you to be taking some notes today and really make this useful. You establish yourself as an authority and as an expert, and you do that because you choose the one thing that you know. We do not coach on things that we don't know. We don't coach on things that we have to learn. We coach on the things that we are the experts at. Knowing what to say about your coaching very simply and very clearly, that is going to be what's going to make a difference for you. And you, to become well known, you have to say it in a way that they understand. I can just almost guarantee that you're going to leave here and not forget about a boutique, about this idea of having a business that you treat differently than an online business. And I'm not saying you have to have a retail store. I'm saying that's the concept of, oh yeah, I don't just have this online thing. I feel pretty sure I explained that in a way that you understand now. Wow, I'm not treating my business. I won't forget that. What is that going to be for you? When you create your reputation, you decide, what do I want people to know? And what I want people to say is, I want people to say, first of all, she's a straight shooter. She tells you exactly how it is. She doesn't sugarcoat things. She gives me more than I thought. She's wanting to make sure I got taken care of. That is, I'm not looking for a pat on the back ever. I'm just saying that's the way I intentionally decided to run my business. What is it that you want yours to be? I want to be available to answer, and this is niche specific. So mine is a lot, people have questions. I want to answer every question as many times as I need to until you get it. What would that look like for you? I want to show people that it can be busy. I already mentioned this, teach you so you fully understand. Instead of saying, repurpose your content, you're like, what does that mean? Teach each part of that so people aren't stuck. This is intentional reputation design. Intentionally provide you with more than you expected, which I just mentioned. And I am going to believe in you until you believe in yourself. That is one of my things. I'm like, no, you got this. The ones who win don't quit. That's another one that I say all the time too. Everybody that works with me over all the years I've ever done this, my entire team, I've always had employees since 2000. Everybody responds the same way because they know the customer is always, and we're always going to go above and beyond, and we're always going to do the extra. That's just the way it is. I do all of what I just described intentionally. I am not sharing any of this to try to impress you. I'm just saying, this is what you decide about your business. Most of us are just like, I just want to coach. Like, how do I coach? All of that is great. But if you are really building a business that is going to be around for a long time, you're building a reputation. When you do that, if you look at what Carissa said, it says exactly what I just told you. It says, in the current world, you often feel like you get less than what you pay for. Sometimes the offer sounds great, but the execution doesn't mess up. Debbie surpassed anything I imagined in 1 week. If you go on and read that, it says what I just told you. That's the goal, is to have that outcome from somebody. Then you know what you're doing is working. You're going to be known for what you intentionally decide in advance. Your reputation, you're going to decide that. Decide, will people say what it is that you decided behind your back? Or are they going to say something else? Are they going to be saying like, oh no, she made this big promise, I didn't get that? Or are they going to say, oh no, what she said was right? It does take work. I hate to always keep telling people that, but it takes more work than you think to build a business. But man, goodness, it's so worth it. How do you become the expert or the authority? What I know for sure is there is only one you. I know you have a unique perspective. I know you are the only person in the whole world who has that. You and I could go to the exact same, you don't need a certification, but let's say we did go to certification. Every one of us could go to the same certification, and every one of us would teach and coach in a completely different way, because I learned it in a different way and heard it and applied it to my life circumstances different than you did. You are an authority in one niche, one way. Please hear me on that, because imposter syndrome is a big thing that everybody deals with. And they're like, I don't know, can I? Yes, you are the authority at your one thing. I am the leading expert and authority at guiding women through the process that I'm teaching you, because it's my process. Help people create their own framework. I help people be seen as successful, become well-known, market without paid ads, and enjoy your boutique style coaching business. That is the Profitable Coach framework. These are 3 more of our beautiful clients. What is your process? That's Roz, that's Danielle. What is your process? What is your methodology? And what will you do as the expert in your niche? Even if you are doing just life coaching, I'm gonna put that in quotes because that's the most powerful thing ever. But even if you're just a life coach, even if you're a general life coach, You are doing something different than everyone else. What is that? To become a well-known coach, you have to decide what you're going to be known for so you know what to tell the world. Examples of people who figured that out. Look, they're introverts. Like I did my first video, but they did it because they know what to say. I showed up on social media, 6 posts. I hosted a workshop. A lot of the things that you are not doing that you know that you should do, in air quotes, you should do, you're not doing it because you're not sure if what you're saying is, if your niche is, there's all of these questions. To become well known, you have to be sure of those things. Telling the world what you do and how you help them is easy when you know what to say. I use this example often, and this is just about the ripple effect of telling one person. For those of you, if you've ever moved or relocated and you wanted to get your hair cut, or you wanted to get your nails done, or you needed a plumber, I use that example a lot, or you needed a realtor, what do? You ask somebody. And so you ask somebody and they tell you, or you ask somebody and they're like, oh, my friend at work used this one guy. You should use him. The same goes for you. When you start telling people, and you're the big blue dot in the middle, you start telling people what you do, even if it's not your client, your next door neighbor is not your client. Your next door neighbor is talking to their girlfriend who says, yeah, I'm going through a divorce. And you're like, oh my gosh, I know somebody who's a divorce coach. That's how that happens. Now we're busy saying, oh no, I'm not going to talk to that person because that person's not my client. But that's not the point. We want to put the ripple effect into play. How do you become well known? You can be on social media or not. We do recommend it, but we do have clients that are not on social media. We do recommend that you do email marketing. If you're going to grow an email list, this is how you do it. You get something of value. We actually provide this for our clients, this quiz. We teach you how to set it up. The tech, we teach the tech too, but you want to be able to say, hey, go take the quiz to find out what's happening. And the quiz can then lead them to have a conversation with you. That's how you grow your email list. Once somebody gives you their email list, then you want to stay in contact with them. But again, I know there's lots of questions about how do I do that? How do you become number one? Simplest thing is you talk to people. I know I'm here to find out about an online business, but I'm just telling you, talking to people in your local market will be the fastest way for you to get clients. It is the fastest path to cash. You host workshops just like this. We teach our clients this whole process. Nearly everybody is hosting workshops this month. Collaborations. We have another client. She's been doing interviews with all the other clients and they're on YouTube. She doesn't have to figure out what, she just collaborates with somebody else. They have a conversation. They share it on both their pages. You can do an in-person event. We had another client that I just showed you a picture of, kind of like pampered chef parties, but for coaching. She had people over and then she taught coaching concepts and gave them an introduction to coaching. You can be in directories. There are online directories everywhere. You can be on Eventbrite. We talk about that often. Google My Business. If you're doing local business, this is excellent. If you are looking for a local provider, what do? You Google and it comes up with the person in your local area. That's Google My Business. There are so many ways for free marketing. Honestly, it's endless. This depends on your niche and what you want to do. Where are you? Where are you right now? That you should be doing social media. You should be doing regular email marketing. You should be growing a list, but are you? So in order to know what you're going to do, what the next step is that many of us have skipped, what do you not know? If you know you should be on social media, if you know you should be doing email marketing, but you're not doing it, then answer the question, why not? And get very specific about it. I'm not on social media. I don't really like it. I'm like, let's be clear about this. You don't like it and what? Do you know how to post or not? I'm not really sure. Number one, let's figure out how to post. Then what's the other? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the caption should say. Number two, we should figure that out. Get really clear with yourself on what actually is the problem. Many of the like YouTube videos, let's say, which I'm on YouTube teaching the same stuff, but they're like, be on social media every day and just do it that way. But if they're not getting down basics and you're stuck on the basics, you need to find the answer to that question. What should I say and how should I say it? How long should it be? Those things really do matter. Then there's tech. It's practically everyone. And you need help setting up email marketing. Thank you. I'll talk about that too. That is actually, it's pretty simple. I teach that every day to people. I'm going to show you in 10, 15 minutes how to do it. But when you go watch those trainings, oh my word, it seems so complex to understand. There's two things. There's the tech, but then also just understanding what the email should say, how often you should send it, what time of day you should send it, those things. Should there be links, all that stuff? That's what I would say. There's a skill to that. Marketing is overwhelming until you learn how to do it. The third component is to market free. I don't want anybody spending money on ads. I do spend money on ads right now. And please don't go run over to Eventbrite unless you know what you're doing over there too. Otherwise, you're just wasting money. I'm honest with you. I do spend money on that. And this week, but you have to know if the listing is, this is the key thing. But for the most part, free marketing is the avenue because you need to learn to know if you're doing it correct first. That's why I'm saying, just because I said go spend some money on Eventbrite, if your message over there and what you're saying isn't done correctly, you're just burning up money. And I have burned up plenty of money on ads because I did not know what I was doing. It's getting so complex that honestly, you need somebody else to help you with it. And that's a whole nother very expensive venture. You can build easily $100,000 a year business without paid ads. And honestly, like YouTube for me, it gets me more business than anything else. I like to help our clients figure out what are the 5 things you're going to do for your business? How much time do you have? Because some people work full time. Let's figure out how often are you going to do this particular thing and this particular thing? And I'm talking about the marketing that's going to be the thing that will bring people in. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. That's Walt Disney. I love these quotes. Without a plan, even those brilliant businesses can get lost. And that is so true. We're using time on the wrong things. We're not doing the things that are actually the things that will move your business forward. I challenged our clients today to wake up every day and do the very first thing of their day is a revenue creating activity. But most people would be like, I don't know what that is. And that's fair. That's going to be different for everybody. Free marketing, again, why is it best? Because it's free. Because if you want to run paid ads, just let me give you the clue on this, because I know there's people saying that's the best way. But if you want to run paid ads, you have to know how to write a message that converts. You have to have emails involved in it. You have to set up the tech. There's many pieces to that they're not telling you. That's why paid ads are no good. Start with free. All of the free stuff, I guarantee you, will get you to clients much faster. What do you need to do? You need to find out about your niche. You've got to get that figured out, decide what the best fit is for you, and then decide where you will market. In this distracted marketplace, you have to be, and I have to tell you, you have to say the same thing over and over again. Our job is to the algorithm, the social media algorithm, who we are, because we've said the same thing over and over. So it knows who to show our stuff to. I have to say over and over, if you're a woman, especially over 50, who just wants to get clients, who doesn't know how to use tech, who hates the idea of putting themselves out there, who just wants to find their people. I say those things over and over, then the algorithm knows, oh, I should be looking for that person. This is how this works now. You don't have to come up with a million things to say. You need a few effective things to say. One example of what you need to plan is this. Let me just tell you what is involved in the workshop. You might think I'm just going to do a workshop. It's just an hour. But the thing is, you have to send up email or set up emails to send your email invites. You have to send the Zoom reminders. You have to send the replay. You have to have your links set up. There's so much more than what you're being presented. And while it's hard the first time, the exciting news is that I was telling everybody today in our coaching, once you do it once, you duplicate the whole thing and you do it again. This is how you make your business easier. You have to know about content and how to map it out. To do this workshop, I had to know that. What am I talking about? I had to know how to use Canva. We teach that, by the way. Had to know how to use Zoom. We teach that. I had to be on social media. Everything that is on that list are things that we teach people and show people. That's all what is required to host a workshop, which is why when I should do a workshop and you don't, it's because all these things right here, for the most part, are not answered. It goes back to that how-to part. What are the steps that you need to know to do something? So if we're going to go back on this list and you're like, to do a workshop, I have to know what I'm going to say. I have to know the Canva. I have to get a Zoom link. I'm going to promote it on social media. I'm going to have the form like you signed up. While all of this right now, your brain is like, oh my gosh, that is too much. It's not too much, really, if you have done it one time. Once you learn how to do it. And if you're using simple tech, you do not, I'm just going to tell you right now, you do not need a client management system. You don't need Kajabi. You don't need anything. The tech that I recommend for your business up to $100,000, including paying for AI, is less than $100 a month. You don't need anything fancy. So yeah, you got to figure out what things could be. This is how you make a plan. And then where are you going to market? What are you going to say? And when are you going to market? There comes the question about the offer. What is it that you are offering? And please hear me on this. Do not go make a big coaching program. That's not the way you start your business. When you make a big coaching program without ever having people that you've coached, you don't know what you're actually creating. The best thing that you can do is to sell individual or few coaching sessions while you work with people you really need to learn and understand. And then you build out your offer while you are working with people. You don't spend months getting ready with videos and workbooks and all that stuff, especially today. Because here's the thing, AI can produce that stuff for everyone. You need to have AI do it. You need to work with people, coach people, help people, and provide them with the resources that they need along the way. So your plan, if you're going to make a marketing plan to market your business, is going to include where to market, what the schedule will be. If you're going to do social media, how often are you going to schedule? If you are brand new on social media and you've never been on it ever, I would recommend 3 times a week. There is nobody who would tell you that, but here's the deal. I know if you've never done it before, 3 times a week is going to be hard. Maybe not the first week or the second week, but 52 weeks for the year, it's going to be hard. It's because it's a new habit. It's a new skill. You're trying to figure out, what do I say after the second post? If you've been consistent on social media, then I would say the bare minimum is 1 time a day. Bare minimum. Schedule that part and then add on when you're inspired. What are you going to talk about? And then what's the call to action? The CTA is your call to action. What is yours going to be? You will not have an offer like I do because I'm much further along. Your call to action is going to be something like, let's connect and let me guide you through a coaching experience, or sign up for a free coaching call. I didn't say a sales call, a coaching call. It's going to be something like that. What will be your plan? I'm pausing for a moment. Are you like, I don't know what my plan would be, but I just went over one. The puzzle that I laid out for you, I'm going to say this verbally to you. I talked about being seen as a successful coach. That's the brand image. That's how people see you. That's that reputation. It's the logo, the colors, your presence. And that is also your niche. How are you seen? The second part was about becoming well known. You have to know who you're talking to and how you're going to represent yourself before you become well known. That's what am I going to talk about and who am I going to talk to? That's the second piece. That has to fit in with the first. The third piece is the marketing. You cannot do the marketing unless you know your niche, brand, what your reputation is going to be, and how you're going to communicate. That fits in. And the fourth piece is just, how do you keep the whole thing going? It's about enjoying your boutique business, but it's really this thing about sustainability. How do I make this thing create money and have a consistent flow of clients without working 7 days a week? All of those pieces fit together. You can't have the last piece until you have all the other parts. That's the complete ecosystem. That's every piece that has to work together. What will keep you from making the plan? It's going to be things like this. Wait, what are my content categories? Because maybe you heard somebody talk about that. And that is important, actually. Find 7 things to talk about. What are they going to be? Talk about on repeat. That's good to know. That is part of what you should figure out. How will your email be written? This is absolutely, look, if you've never written an email for marketing, it's not hard, but it's like you do need to know how to do it. You can write emails all day long at your work. How many of you have worked a career and are so good at it, but you realize they actually brought me all the business? I didn't actually have to bring anybody in to work with me. My company took care of that for me. They kept you employed. Your company kept you employed. Now you're the one who keeps you employed. What social media platform will you use? It's just pick one. Yes, I could help each of you individually decide what makes sense, but we don't need to overthink this. Which one do you know how to use? Which one are you most comfortable with? And that's the one you're going to pick, because your clients are everywhere. So it doesn't really matter which one you pick. And then, do you know how to judge what is good? If you're like, is my marketing any good? What is working? How do you know if what you're doing is, how do you assess that? And that's an ongoing skill of getting better. Right now, we're relying on AI to do this for us. And I'm going to tell you what, that is absolutely wrong. While I use it for everything, I can only use it because I have very clearly had ChatGPT or Claude understand what I do. And I actually write things first and then I give it to Claude or ChatGPT. It's your partner. But what I see wrong is I don't know how to do social media. So you say to Chat, give me social media. That's not the way. You need to tell Claude or ChatGPT what it is that you would say and banter back and forth with how that's going to look. You need to know what the gaps are. Because I know so much about business, I'm always catching mistakes that it's doing. I'm like, I didn't say that, or that's not. You've got to know enough about this. Just like if you hired a VA, you have to know enough about your own business to be able to have a VA work for you. AI cannot create personalized connection. It can help you with the clients to maintain the personal connection that you've made, but it will not create those for you. And AI absolutely will sound like AI unless you know how to do it. I think the fair warning is we all need to take a step back from ChatGPT and Claude, because the other thing I'll just say, and again, a lot of you are working on a project all day long talking to ChatGPT, and it is changing what it is saying over and over. And the next time you log in, you're like, wait, we just talked about this thing and now it's telling me something different. It's made that way. It's supposed to give you new input. You could spend a whole bunch of time, and in that amount of time, you could do it yourself. Make your plan based on what I've said. Make your plan, work the plan, and then work on perfecting it. I want you to work with a virtual assistant, but not until you're ready. You got to be able to tell them what your branding is, what your colors are, your fonts are, what your message is, who you're talking to. All those things have to be really aligned and proven. To avoid making mistakes, you have to get really specific with your niche. Really specific. People are so afraid if they get too specific, they're going to lose people. You will not lose anyone. What you will do is you will include people. When I say I work mostly with women over 50, I know that for sure. They are here because the other things that I teach are what they need. They're here because they're like, she's a straight shooter. She teaches the tech that I'm terrible at. She helps me with the marketing message. I didn't lose the people under 50, but what I for sure did is I included a whole bunch of people over 50, over 60. We have over 70 and upwards of 80. Yeah, our clients are the full range. That's how you get people to say, oh, she's talking to me. You talk about a specific niche. This fourth component is just about enjoying your business. This learning how to be in business, this is temporary. It's not forever. Once you learn how to do social media, once you learn how to do your email, you learn how to have a comfortable conversation and sell your coaching. That's all the stuff that is temporary. Once you learn how to do that, it's like anything else you've ever done. We're just trying to do it in a really short amount of time. Once you learn how to do it, then you can use those same skills. That's the thing. If you don't know how to market, it's because you really haven't taken the time to understand marketing. Once you understand it, you'll be just fine. In order to enjoy your business, you have to have those things figured out. You got to know, how much money do I want to make? How many hours do I have to work? What is my marketing going to be about? What's my week going to look like from an operational point of view so that I can do what it is I really want to do, which is coach? What day of the week am I going to do X, Y, and Z that will keep my business going? I can work with clients. Do you know what that is? Most people don't. It's really sad because they'll say repurpose everything. And I do say that too. But unless you understand what that means, it's repurpose. What do you mean? How, what, where? That's how you get the freedom, is by learning those things again once. To have a real business, this is hard to hear, but you have to have these two things: revenue, which is paid clients. While you have a business from day one, and you could have a business that you don't make money in, it's not really going to be something you're probably going to do forever if you're never making money. That's the goal. Let's get you paid. That is my goal in our new challenge, 30 days to your first paid client, is to get you paid in some way, fashion, or form. Not a high ticket client, just get you paid. I want you to have whatever your dollar is, a 20, a 50, 100, I don't know what it's going to be. I want that taped on your wall. I want the first paid client for you. Asking for money is another interesting thing. If you haven't asked for money, that might be something you want to ask yourself. Why am I not asking for money? Why am I not making offers? And it's, I'm not sure what I'm offering, or I don't know if my price, sure, you're shaking your head. Yes, that's true. And then there's the question of, how do I even have a conversation? Valid question. What do I do when somebody gets on a consultation call with me? By the way, you're doing the listening and they're doing the talking. But what am I going to offer? How do I make the pitch at the end? All of that is very valid. It just needs to be thought through one time. And honestly, from my perspective, sales scripts and all that, they just messed me up and said, I have sold millions by just talking to people. I don't need to arm twist anyone. I just talk to people. I just have, if we want to have a call, I'm just going to talk to you about you and what you've done. That to me is the easiest way to really genuinely connect with people and to create trust. When you gain back your time, how you do that is you have the process in place. You craft the emails and the posts. We have 90 days worth of social media, which I know sounds like a lot. I want to get you to week 1 of social media, but I use the same 90 days 4 times a year. Yep, you didn't know that, did you? But you do now. Our emails, we have a document with all the same emails on it. And yes, I have a team, but I did all this stuff myself. You schedule it. I send the same emails. You just got the same emails about this as you did in December. This is how you gain back your time. When we talk about having freedom in our schedule, and I always say your business put you in jail, let's get you out of jail by learning how to repurpose whatever it is you're doing. Nobody that has seen your post can remember what it said. I know we think we're important, but I could host this workshop next week. And first of all, I would be saying it completely different, but there's not much of a chance that you would remember the whole thing. If I said, tell me the 4 components as soon as we're done, you'd be like, I'm not offended by that. I just know that's the way our brains work. Everything that you do will get easier, like riding a bike. What happens when you make money? You become the CEO. Oh my gosh, I feel like I really am a CEO because I did some things that were really what a business person would do. Like, I've got some clients, I've gotten some difficult conversations over money and such. I've gotten that far. That's how you become a CEO. When the first time somebody gives you a challenge, is this what it's supposed to be like? Yes, that's business. Learning how to navigate those is how you get to the other side. The CEO is the boss. This is an interesting question that you probably haven't thought of, or if you have thought of it, you've done what I call coach math, which I did for a long time. I would say, I'm going to have 30 clients and they're going to pay me. You actually need to make with fewer clients to be able to basically pay yourself to work on your business, let's say 3 days a week instead of 1 day a week. You have to figure out what that actually looks like. You're serving clients, you're continuing to market, and then you're selling. And I can tell you, if one of those pieces is not working, you are not happy. I know that for sure. All of those things have to be in balance. And there honestly is a skill to each one of those. Again, not hard, but until you've worked with 2 clients, you don't realize, whoa, I thought this part was going to be hard. Until you've worked with 6 clients, you don't know that. It's like we're doing everything for the first time right now. I want to give you a quick recap. I just gave you one, but I'll give you another look at this. These are the 4 essential components to building your coaching business. But have you been able to see the gaps of why you're not getting your business built? I'm not even going to say reaching your goals. And by the way, we have 6 months till the end of the year. Do you know what you could do in 6 months? You could literally end this year with a business, with clients, making money. No kidding. You could get this all figured out for the last time and have a business that really works. Everything can work when you make a few decisions, honestly. If you had a business that makes money, your dream business, it would be sustainable. First of all, like, you'd be able to keep it going. That would be your dream business. You would be enjoying what you're doing. That's what I call your boutique style coaching business. That's it. It's one where you're making money and you do have some freedom in your schedule. We all have things we want to do with our time. We're all caregivers we're all doing many things. What does that look like for you? If I could see into your future, what would I see? I'm going to tell you what, the coaching business is thriving. You can go look these stats up. I'm not just saying this. These are real stats. 2026, the market just continues to grow. And I will tell you, the amount of coaches that are getting certified is going down. The market is going up and the certifications are going down. There is so much opportunity. You just have to create a business. There are so many people that have no idea what a coach can do. Do you know how they start to know what a coach can do? It's because you start marketing your business. Do you know what? That would help every single one of us. Every one of us would go further if each one of you was talking about your business. It's not a lot that you're going after. The opportunity is there, but it is not there unless you are putting yourself out there. The only way people know is if you've put yourself out there and marketed. ROI, this is like your return on investment. Coaching clients. And look, this is really for sure with me. I can tell you the ROI with me. But for you, when a coaching client hires a coach on investment, what they get back from you, whether it's improved health or you're a career coach or whatever, saving a marriage, they claim their return on investment as high as 221%. This again was done multiple times. I would say coaching is priceless. How do you actually measure solving something like saving a marriage? How do you measure the dollar return on that? A lot of things we can measure, like my coaching, we can measure the multiple results of you learning how to finally do this. But again, I always just say it's priceless. What would be the ROI if you did learn how to do this? Seriously, if you finally knew how to do this, how many years would you be in business? I'm talking about a business for a lifetime. And look, I'm 62. I don't even have retirement in sight. I think most of us don't. And I have to tell you, she looks like she's 57 and acts like that too. It's just age is not what it once was. And so many of the women that I talk to, they want to retire, but they can't, or they retired, they don't have enough. They need to do something else. How many years would you be working? How much could you earn? How many clients could you serve if you finally knew what to do? That result is immeasurable. Okay, that's a wrap. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day. I appreciate you so much. Bye-bye.